Welcome back to the Man Gym Insider. This month I want to talk about posture. I want to go ahead and I want to take you through not only what I understand and how I approach maintaining good posture and strengthening good posture, but also I want to then take you through how to utilize resistance bands to do that. But first and foremost, we got to talk about posture. We got to talk about it so that we understand how it's maintained, so that we can go ahead then and appropriately start building in postural based strengthening and mobility and so forth into our workouts, so we can go ahead and maintain that good upright posture that all of us want to be able to do. Now, first and foremost, we know that as we age, posture is going to become more challenging. And it's going to become more challenging because of the number one thing that influences posture, and that's mobility. You've got to be able to go ahead and maintain and have the mobility to get into the great posture that we all would like to be. Now understand this, everybody's posture is going to be a little different, and we all have dysfunctions and joint restrictions and weaknesses that influence our overall posture. But first and foremost, the number one thing we've got to have is we've got to have mobility. The other thing we've got to have is we've got to have stabilization strength. And we got to have stabilization strength. And what I mean by that is we've got to be able to stabilize in more of a static type position. Because when you think of posture, at least one side of it, it's a kind of a static type movement, a static type thing that we want to be able to do. So we want to be able to stand in a good posture and be able to maintain that. So we've got to have stabilization strength, specifically kind of isometric type stabilization strength. But the third thing that goes along with that is we've also got to go ahead and have strength. Strength in key areas that I'm going to talk about in just a little bit. But when we talk about strength, we've got to be able to talk about strengthening the body in a good posture. And the first thing I think of is all the sitting exercises that I see done in the gym, when in reality, posture is all about standing. Face it, guys, our body was built around standing and walking. So anytime we go ahead and start strength training in lying down positions or sitting positions, we're really not strength training our body the way it was designed to work. So the three things that when we talk about posture, we talk about mobility, we talk about stabilization, and we talk about strength, maybe more importantly, endurance strength. Keeping our body under tension for long periods of time. Now, there's three key areas that we need to go ahead and understand. First and foremost, the glutes. Stability comes from the ground up. Posture is generated from the ground up. Now, we can do some things to influence it from the top down as well, and when we get into the exercise part, we'll do that. But first and foremost, let's talk about the three key areas. And the first area is the glutes. They are going to be a key stabilizer. They're essentially the support system from the posterior side that keeps us upright. But then to counterbalance that, we've got the trunk. See, the trunk is going to counterbalance the glutes to maintain that good upright position, at least to our mid-thoracic region. And then our shoulder blades are going to counter that as well. So see, we've got the trunk balancing stability from the glutes and the shoulder blades. Does that make sense? So literally just think of two forces, a force coming here into the body, a force coming from the shoulder blades into the body, and then a force coming from the front stabilizing in this way. And then we have the ground reaction forces coming from the bottom, from the ground up, and we'll also have some forces coming from the ground down, or top down. But most importantly, it's from the ground up. So with that, now let's go back to what we talked about originally, mobility. Well, we got to have mobility through our hips. All right. Secondly, we got to have mobility through our mid-thoracic spine and shoulders. And then lastly, we've got to go ahead and be able to lengthen the trunk and shorten the trunk. But we've got to have the mobility through the trunk, through the rib cage, in order to go ahead and maintain that posture. Now, to go ahead and challenge this and train it, how are we going to go ahead and do that? Well, we're going to start very simply by making sure, first and foremost, you understand the mobility part of it. So we're going to talk about that in next week's series. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about stabilization and how you can incorporate simple stabilization exercises into your workout that help improve your posture. And then finally, I'm going to go ahead and bring in how you can go ahead and strength train your body as a unit, both chest, back, shoulders, legs. But while you're doing that, you're going to have a postural mindset. Yeah, we're going to take you through some strength training drills that I think are going to be very effective at helping improve postural strength while you're building strength in all the other body regions. So there you go. We're going to go ahead and tackle posture this month. And I hope you go ahead and really enjoy this. No, we're not going to hit on everything, but we're going to do our best to go ahead and share with you everything I know about postural strength. But what you're going to enjoy is you're going to enjoy the idea that you're already working on it. Because if you're training in the band gym and you're utilizing RBT the way I show you, you're already going ahead incorporating a ton of the postural strengthening, mobility, and stabilization exercises that we're going to talk about over the next few weeks. I'll see you back next week for the Band Gym Insider, where we're going to go ahead and we're going to start tackling postural mobility.